empreendedor, por norma, é aquele inconformado. Mas em vez de reclamar, ele decide agir. Durante toda essa semana, nós vamos conhecer 10 histórias de empreendedores jovens aqui nos Açores. Como veio morar nos Açores?
Actually, it took me about 2 years to decide to live here. I visited twice, but the third time, I was living here visiting a friend from Kosovo. She lives here, she's from here, but we met in Kosovo and we went out to dinner. And she took me to Boca Negra and I had my first fish alcatra. And when I was eating the fish alcatra, I felt like I could taste all the places of the world. I lived in Morocco, I lived in Zambia, and I lived in Hungary. I felt Europe and Africa in this dish. And I thought, okay, this can be a place, if I can figure it out financially, this will be a place that I would like to live.
Yeah. E fale-me sobre o seu projeto.
So I call the project Aprendi English com as Artes. And really it is a unique fusion of learning theory, of integration of arts, and also movement and fun, and a lot of experience of teaching around the world. And the aim is to create an atmosphere where people feel relaxed enough that they feel they can take the risk to learn to speak out loud.
Ok. Fale-me sobre isso.
Exactamente. So many of my students are very shy and they were having difficulty speaking, but we practiced the other day being journalists and saying the weather. And this microphone helped everyone start speaking. And it's fun. Exactamente.
Ok. E como é ser empreendedora nos Açores?
So there's many opportunities, especially like connecting with StartUp Angra. And because we're a small community, people know each other. So you reached out to me, right? But the biggest challenge I have is that learning a language takes more than 1 hour a week. And so people finding the time to make learning English a priority, that they rearrange their schedule. So would you like to rearrange your schedule? Yeah. So encouraging people to know that it's so important that, there are more job opportunities, there's more learning opportunities when you know the English language. It also really builds your self-confidence.
Okay. Viver nos Açores, qual é a diferença entre viver e trabalhar nos Açores e nos Estados Unidos?
Well, I would say that's really a big question. I mean, if we're looking at language in the classroom, we know there's a lot of diverse learners in American classrooms, but you don't learn Portuguese in America, obviously, right? So here, students are learning English. That's one thing. But I think mostly we live in a very safe place. And so children are really still children. They're still young. And I do work with students online in the United States, and I would say there's even more emotional challenges.
Quem aprende mais? Você aprende mais com as crianças o português ou as crianças aprendem mais com você o inglês?
I have to learn so much Portuguese. I translate all my lessons using the AI chat GPT. I have my parents of the students confirm it when it's needed. But for 1 hour, I try to convince everyone that we're just immersing ourselves. It's like we take a trip to listen to a native speaker. You're taking a trip to New York. You're taking a trip for 1 hour a week and see what you can learn. I'm using singing, dancing, cooking, lots of things for them. I don't have anyone teaching me Portuguese that way. I know if I had someone who could teach me Portuguese through dance and movement, it would really be great.
Onde você quer que o seu projeto chegue?
So I have two class opportunities on Saturday for younger children and older children. I have just opened up an adult class on Thursdays afternoon at 4:30. The goal is to really empower people in English so that they can feel confident. I had this dream originally of having a small theater group that would do improvisation in English. And I really miss that. There are some things I miss that I can't do here, and that's something that's kind of like a secret dream. But ideally, I would be able to financially support myself through this project. And, you know, that takes a certain business strategy to figure out exactly what people want here and what can be financially possible.
Fale pra gente um pouco do método que você usa para ajudar essas crianças e todas as pessoas a aprender inglês mais rapidamente.
Okay, so I visited a local school to see students in action, and I looked at their notebooks that they've been studying English, and it gave me an idea of what they have been studying. And what I saw is it's very simple. Colors, months, days of the week, numbers, okay? But the challenge, where I want to get them is to be able to speak in a sentence. So I say, how are you? And you can say, I'm doing well. I like the sunny day, but some small expressions. I also want the students to be able to create with each other. So it's not just the teacher saying something and the student repeating. I want them to be able to generate something original together.
Okay.
So the way I design the lessons, usually I think about it in a month, 4 lessons. I think about a progression of skills, but I also think about themes that are important or interesting or fun for them. So one example that you'll see in some of the photos I sent you is, what time is it, Mr. Wolf? And so learning what time is it, I developed a game. It's kind of like a tag game, and I use a puppet for the students say, what time is it, Mr. Wolf? And then I would say, it's 2 o'clock. But when I say midnight, then they run, and then we tag. It's like a tagging game. We have songs like head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. So the hokey pokey, you put your right hand in, you put your right hand out. But the more I find, they all love to sing. So I have to just find the right song. And actually, we've just started making up our own songs. But the process goes from creating a theme, building specific skills, thinking about what they're interested in, making it fun, integrating the arts. I look at a lot of resources, and so I take all this work and then I try to fine-tune it down to 1 hour.
Ok.
And I've gotten better and better at it, but it still takes me about 2 days to plan 1 hour.
Okay. Thank you. Em inglês.
Thank you.
E muito obrigada em português. Obrigada.
Thank you so much.
Até a próxima entrevista.